Hello, everybody. I hope everybody is doing good today. It's been a while since I did a video. So today I'm going to be demonstrating finally the Peresia app is, pretty much completed. And we're going to be opening up the app to sellers very soon. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is I'm going to demonstrate how the app works. So there's a few glitches that we had to fix on it. We're also going to be doing a web portal as well. So there's other developments that we're doing. So I'm going to be doing a demonstration just to kind of show everybody how the app works. So stand by and I'll be back at the end of the video to kind of give my final remarks. Thanks, guys. Okay, guys, so right now what we're going to do is we're going to actually demonstrate how the application works. So the way that Peresia works, there are two separate platforms. So Peresia, which is Peresia on its own, is used for customers. And then we have Peresia Seller that is going to be used for the service providers. So very similar to Uber, like you have Uber driver and Uber. So we've kind of used the same concept. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go in as a customer because I need a service to get done. So I'm going to hit the Peresia app. So you're going to see it loading. So this is basically the home page on the app, how it looks like. So you'll be able to see your information. Excuse me. So you'll be able to see your profile here, how many loyalty points you have as a customer, your job history, transactions, how much you get paid, so you can look at all the money that's involved, any alerts, chat, complaints if there are any, language settings, measurement, whether you want in kilometers or miles. Because sometimes in the United States they have miles and in Canada is kilometers. So of course we want to make sure that we have the correct measurement. Down here you have the home page. If there's any active jobs, you'll probably see them here, active or screening. We'll get through that when we go through a demonstration. You can do a chat with somebody. We also set a meets system here. So what happens is, let's say you want to interview somebody. Let's say you're looking for a babysitter and you want to know who that person is. You want to see them, so you can do a video call with them to interview them. So there's a lot of interesting functions that this application has. So what we're going to do right now is I've populated some popular categories. So we have healthcare, construction, security, automotive. So let's say you need a roadside assistant, something happens. So it's a pretty cool app. You can use it for many different applications. So let's say I need to do a construction job. So under construction, I need a landscaper. So we can have different workers. We're going to build these up as we go along. So the list changes. So I have a landscaper, I push continue. So as a customer, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to ping my location. So I pinged my location, you get it. Location is fetched, continue. Now the next thing is, where should the seller be located with? Now the whole purpose of this application is that this application is a location-based app. So you may have somebody in your neighborhood that can provide the service, or somebody in your area that can purchase from you, right? Because everybody always needs something done. And sometimes it can be a challenge in finding somebody to do something for you. You know, you go on Yellow Pages, or you go on Google, or you go to these different places, and it can be very time consuming, right? So we're trying to eliminate all of these steps by having an on-demand system. So let's say I want to find somebody within 5 kilometers. So I push continue. So it's searching within 5 kilometers of where I am. And so basically there is one person within 5 kilometer radius of my location, okay? Or it can be, you can have 10, 20, whatever it is that you want. So I'm going to now submit a job to this person. Now, the whole point is you want to submit this to as many service providers as you can in the area. And the service provider has the option to quote the job or reject it, right? So, or the whole goal is you want to get multiple pricing. And by getting the multiple pricing, you can be able to choose who your service provider is. So let's say I need the grass to be done on the 7th, October 7th. That's actually my favorite day because that is my birthday. Don't want to remind myself, but that's what it is. And so I can say, hello, um, I need to have my grass cut and shrubs removed, right? Please, uh, provide a price, a price to cut grass, remove shrubs, remove and dispose grass and shrubs. Again, I'm just writing whatever it is. You can write anything you want, right? Now, you want to be as detailed as you can when you're submitting a job, okay? Because the more information that you provide the service providers, the better it is for them to give you a price. We also have the city. So in this case, it will be Toronto, okay? And then here we have upload. So we can upload images. Now, the smart thing to do, guys, is maybe if you're cutting the grass or if it's a job site or any service that you have, maybe taking a picture of it can give the service provider a better idea of it. Sometimes you may have documents that you may need or that you may provide that can help as well. Now, in some cases, you may or may require a background check. So if you select background check, that means that the seller has to upload a criminal record check. You don't want to use this all the time. Like, for example, if you have a kid that you want to hire a babysitter or a tutor, and you want to make sure that that person has a clean record, obviously that's a smart thing to do. Then, of course, you would request a background check. If you're hiring, let's say, elder care, may use it for that as well. Then you want to make sure that they have the proper certificates so you can ask for them. Now, in most parts, all that information will also be available in their on their page, right? So in their portfolio. Now, you will not be able to see the seller's portfolio until they've given you a quote, right? Because the whole point of this app is not to scroll through 100 sellers, because then it won't make us any different than any other provider. It's to be able to look at the responses that you've gotten pretty quickly, and based on the responses that you've gotten, to be able to see and pick and choose. Sometimes the seller may have to visit. It may be a more complex job, but the purpose of the app is it's not for big jobs. It's just for small things that need to be done. So I'm going to hit the submit button. And then as we're submitting it, we're going to invite the seller. So I guess there's only one. So I'm going to send the invitation now. Great. The seller has now been invited. Done. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to leave the buyer's app. And now I have to go to the seller's application to respond. Again, I'm playing the role of two people right now. So as the seller or the service provider, this is what the page will look at. So we're going to have some videos here. These are just like demos. We're going to have to change them. So we may have interviews and thing. Peresia instructions will be here. We'll also make videos on how to use the app and how to make, and then of course I may do one on how to set up a Stripe. All that's pretty straightforward, right? You can add your portfolio here, and then you can basically add, pictures and, let's say you're a framer, right? and you have a lot of jobs, you can, put pictures there. I think you can also post videos, I think. Um, you can add your background check, certificates. So all of that stuff, your phone number can be here. Now, the phone number doesn't mean the customer will see the number. It's just more for the registration side of things. And then, of course, we'll be posting articles. So this is more for the seller, to provide them the support that they need. So you would go to jobs in this case. And now the job that I just sent, when the seller receives the job, it will be under job invites. So here is myself selling to myself. Okay, that's quite funny. But anyways, it's just a demo. So in that case, basically I was invited to give a pro quote. So I hit the button here. So I'm going to view the job invite. So it says here, hello, I need to have my grass cut and shrubs removed. Please provide a price to cut the grass, remove, and dispose. Okay, so there may be some pictures here, things like that. So you have the option to reject the job or apply for it, right? So let's say I'm going to apply for this job. So I'm going to put a little note here. The quotation in this the price in this quotation includes includes grass cutting, removal of shrubs and grass. Shrubs and grass disposal, as an example, right? Now, of course, typically as a seller, you want to be a lot more detailed than that. But for the demonstration purposes, I'm not going to do it. This is where you're going to put all of the details of the job, right? So there is no limit here. You can put whatever it is that you want to put. You want to be as detailed as possible as to what you're offering. That goes in the cover note. So the job will start on October 7th, so we'll be able to finish at the same date. No problem. And then we go to the next page. And so in the next page, we have this is where you put the price. So let's say I'm going to charge $250 to do the job. Now, the thing is, the Stripe service fee will be removed. So because all of that will be built into the Peresia service fee. So you'll be able to see the amount of money that's going to be deducted from the fee. So then you'll receive $217. Now, if you want to get $250, maybe play around with the price a little bit. $288. So you charge the customer $288 so you can put $250 in your pocket. So this is where you get to see where you put the pricing together. So now I'm going to charge him $288. Let's make it a $290 flat. We go next. So this here is a little overview. The price in this quotation includes grass cutting, removal of shrubs, grass disposal. I'm charging $290. Again, you're going to notice here, this is in Canadian dollars, the Peresia fee, and then you'll receive $252.17. We push submit. Now I have submitted the quotation. So now I'm going to go back to the buyer's app because the buyer has to respond. So the buyer now receives a quote. So you will go to the jobs tabs and the quotation will be under screening jobs because this is where the buyer, now there's only one application, but we may end up having 5 applications or 10 applications, right? So this is the opportunity for you to view the applications. So in this case, there's only one, but you're going to see multiple applications. So this is where the buyer can actually scroll, look at the proposals, and now I can go into the profile. So I want to see the profile of this guy, right? And now you can see everything. So obviously this is a new app, but you know, this is a new seller. But as the party is doing more and more transactions, you're going to be able to see the response rate, the response time, the reputation. You'll be able to see the work history. And of course, you'll be able to see the reviews as well, right? And these are not like Google reviews where you're just like, you know, where a lot of them are fake. You cannot put a review unless you've purchased a service, right? And you'll be able to see exactly what service they've purchased. So these are legitimate reviews. We've thought about everything, you know. Then you can see their portfolio here. So under portfolio, they may have pictures. You can type in, this is the job that I did and all that kind of stuff. Here are my certificates. And here's my criminal record check. It may not be applicable to everything, but you put all of that information here. So you can see the portfolio, profile description, everything is there, right? Picture. Now, of course, this can be, if it's a seller, you can also register as an organization as well, right? So you can either a person or organization. So anyways, I'm going to hire this guy. So his offer is $290. So he's going to come in on the 7th. I don't know why it says the 6th here. I put 7. So basically, push hire me. Do you want to hire this seller? Yes or no? In this case, I'm going to pay yes. I'm going to hire this guy. Now, I have to fund the job. Now, funding the job does not necessarily mean that you're giving the money to the seller. Okay? What you're doing is you're putting the money into escrow because this is part of the Peresia payment guarantee. So everything is secured with Stripe, right? So they're a really big payment processor. And so we're using the Stripe Express that is very popular for marketplace solutions like Peresia. So you would go to checkout. So obviously we're in test mode right now. So I'm going to pay the $290. Great. My credit card is approved. And now we are hiring the seller. So it just goes through a little bit of a process. So congratulations, the seller is hired. Let's get to work. Now, let's go to jobs. So now this will be an active job. So the seller is going to come, bring the lawnmower over, start cutting the grass, doing what they have to do. Let's say we go to job view now. Let's say now the homeowner comes to you and say, hey, you know what? Can you also trim the hedges for me? I have one side, trim the hedges. So the seller says, no problem. So you can go to the extra services, you create an extra service. So let's say trim hedges, okay? We're going to do it on October the 7th. Next. So the amount, let's say $100 for the hedges. So, or 110, sorry, 115. Say $115, right? Because we're charging 15% fee. So we get $15 Peresia fee on this, okay? So you'll receive 100, customer pay 150. Push next, submit. So you're submitting the extra service. Now, let's go back to the buyer, sorry. Now the buyer will also go to active jobs. Okay, now we're in the customer portal. So you're going to view the job and you're going to see that we're waiting for funds. So before I can start trimming the hedges, I need to get the money funded first. So you go here, check out, and that's it. We've now funded the extra service. So now you're going to get a notification, etc. So now the job's being completed. Now, here is a question that I get asked a lot. Well, why do they need Peresia once they get to know who the service provider is? Well, a way around that is we're going to be giving loyalty points to the buyers that buy the service through the app. So, of course, the buyer wants to get their points. So they're going to say, wait a minute, I'm going to use Peresia to keep purchasing your services because the more I purchase services through Peresia, the more points I get towards a gift card. Okay, and they can use that gift card to buy stuff on Amazon. So it's a motivational factor, right? You're gonna buy the service anyways for the same price. Why not buy through the app and get those loyalty points? So that's something that we're gonna also educate our customers on. So we're in the seller's app now. So we're gonna view the job. So in this case, we're done the job, right? So we're gonna go up here, view actions. So the seller is going to submit the job. Okay, everything is done. So they would put submit the job. It says the job, is now completed. Oops. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Thank you for your business. Okay. So something like that. Submit the jobs. Job is being submitted. Now the customer has to approve the job. So the customer will go into active job because the job is still active. Will go into view job, and then they will see here that they received a review job request. So the customer will go check the backyard, make sure everything's okay. If they're satisfied, they can accept. If they're not, they can decline. We will also have a customer resolution service as well to resolve issues that happen. But however, if they accept the job, great. They push accept. Buyer approves it. And so what happens now is we're sending a job completion confirmation. And then eventually now the money will be funded in the seller's Peresia account. And then through the Peresia account, not Peresia, sorry, Stripe account. And through Stripe account, they can withdraw the funds. Now, by buying the service through Peresia, you just received $5.96 US dollars worth of loyalty points. And as you build up those loyalty points, we're going to be able to provide gift cards that you can use to purchase stuff on Amazon. So this is just an incentive as to why you would use the app. So in this case, this is basically how you would use Peresia. You know, it's very simple and straightforward app. And then as we populate more and more customers, I think this will be probably like another Uber type app, but instead of booking a taxi, you're booking services. So very excited about this, and glad to share this demonstration with you. Thanks, guys. Bye bye. So to conclude this video, I just wanted to give you guys a bit of a recap of Peresia. So what I did was Peresia has two platforms: Peresia Seller for the sellers to register, and Peresia. So basically, it's a very simple process for both the seller and the customer to register. So definitely, I'm hoping you guys were impressed or you really like what you saw. We kept it simple. Obviously, as our company grows, we'll be adding more features to the app. We'll be putting in artificial intelligence and other type of technology that will advance this application. We also might be looking at digital currencies and other, innovations. So definitely, based on some of the research that we've done, we have there's a lot of good things that are there's a big market for this app, and Really very excited in getting this off the ground. So yeah, just wanted to share some of these things with everybody. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. Bye bye.